What's up, Bills Mafia? Welcome back to the channel. The only place where we bring you the hottest Buffalo Bills news straight from Orchard Park to your screen. Let's start with this. The Buffalo Bills are not settling. They're working to improve every single day. Whether it's upgrading the roster, fine-tuning game plans, or finding that missing piece to finally bring the Lombardi Trophy to Western New York. That mindset? It's what drives this team, and it's why we're talking today about a blockbuster idea that's lighting up the NFL rumor mill. Now, before we dive into the possibility of Tyreek Hill wearing a Bills jersey, yes, you heard that right, do me a solid, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a beat. Let's dive in. So here's the bombshell. According to Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk, the Buffalo Bills have been named as a potential trade suitor for Miami Dolphins superstar wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Let that sink in. Tyreek Hill, cheetah. They fastest man in football, a 7-time Pro Bowler, and a guy who has haunted the Bills defense more times than we'd like to remember. Here's what Florio wrote. The contenders that should at least ponder whether Hill can help get them over the top include the Ravens, Texans, Chargers, and 49ers. The Bills should think about it too. However, the Dolphins may not be interested in helping Buffalo get back to a Super Bowl. It's a wild thought, but let's be honest, it makes sense. The Bills do need a proven elite wide receiver to pair with Josh Allen. Khalil Shakir is stepping up, and rookie Keon Coleman is full of promise. But can we really bank on that trio of Coleman, Palmer, and Moore to carry us deep into January? That's where a guy like Tyreek Hill could come in and change everything. Imagine this, Bills fans. Josh Allen drops back in the shotgun. Coleman stretches the defense on one side. And on the other, Tyreek Hill, burning corners like toast and breaking games wide open. Hill would give the Bills what they've been missing since Stephon Diggs' prime. A game-breaking, field-tilting defensive nightmare on the outside. Someone who forces safeties to back off. Someone who opens up space for the run game. Someone who can take a 5-yard slant and house it. It's the kind of move that screams Super Bowl or bust. But unfortunately, there's one big problem. Okay, several. Let's come back to earth. As much as we'd all love to see 10 rocking the red, white, and blue in Orchard Park, it's not happening. Why? Cap space. Tyreek Hill is owed $27.6 million guaranteed in 2025. The Bills currently have just $1.6 million in cap space. That math doesn't work, not even with Brandon Beane's best wizardry. The Dolphins aren't stupid. Miami's not trying to help a division rival, especially one that's already been to the AFC Championship multiple times in the last 5 years. Trading Hill to Buffalo, that's a fantasy, not a front office strategy. No indication Hill is available. Dolphins GM Chris Grier has said it would take 2 first-round picks just to make him pick up the phone. And even then, Miami has shown no real interest in shopping Hill. So yes, while it's fun to imagine Tyreek streaking down the sidelines with Allen's rocket arm launching bombs his way, the odds are close to 0. But let's pivot to something real. Something that's already in motion. Let's talk about our new defensive X Factor. Joey Bosa. The Bills made a splash back in March, signing the former Chargers star to a 1-year, $12.6 million deal. The hope that Bosa can rediscover his all-pro form and anchor a pass rush that ranked in the bottom half of the league in sacks last season. Here's the catch. Bosa is already injured. He's dealing with a calf strain that will keep him sidelined until training camp. It's not considered serious, but let's be honest, Bosa's injury history is the very reason he's considered a boom or bust signing. PFF recently called him Buffalo's biggest X factor, saying when he was at his best, Bosa was a top 10 edge defender in the league. Buffalo is hoping he can recapture that form. Back in 2021, he had 10.5 sacks and made the Pro Bowl. That's the version of Bosa the Bills need if they're going to finally get past the Chiefs and into the Super Bowl. It's wild to think how much can change in a year. Last offseason, a lot of analysts had written the Bills off. Between the Dolphins' explosive offense and the hype train around Aaron Rodgers joining the Jets, it felt like Buffalo was getting pushed to the background. Fast forward to today, 5th straight AFC East title, dominated the division with weeks. to spare. And once again, this team is being mentioned as Super Bowl favorites, but it doesn't stop there. Now, the national spotlight is squarely on Josh Allen, and one of the most trusted voices in football media is making a bold call. We're talking about Connor Orr, senior writer for Sports Illustrated. In his new piece titled 100 Bowl Predictions for the 2025 NFL season, he lays it all out. The Bills will beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl LX, and Josh Allen will be your Super Bowl MVP. Let's go! Orr paints the picture of a brutal, hard-fought battle, calling it a meat grinder of a game against the NFC powerhouse Eagles in Santa Clara. But when the dust settles, it's Josh Allen hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and the MVP award on football's biggest stage. That alone is exciting enough, but it gets better. Orr also throws some serious love to Khalil Shakir, predicting that he will lead the Bills in receiving with 112 yards and catch the game-winning touchdown. You heard that, right? The same Khalil Shakir that many of us believe is ready to take the next step becomes the hero of Super Bowl LX, and in a moment that can only be described as legendary. Connor Orr says GM Brandon Beane yells, "You like that?" in the post-game locker room. Pure adrenaline, pure Bills energy. That's the kind of narrative that gives you chills as a fan. Let's take a moment to appreciate what this prediction means. This isn't just hype. This is recognition. National. Media is finally seeing what we've seen for years, that Josh Allen is built for this moment. That this team, despite injuries, adversity, and constant doubt, keeps finding ways to win. And that now, with a revamped roster and a chip on their shoulder, they might be more dangerous than ever. But there's a catch. For any of this to happen, for Josh Allen to be crowned MVP, for Shakir to become a legend, for the Bills to lift that trophy, the defense has to show up. Orr is clear on this point. If the defensive line doesn't hold up, none of it matters. Let's not forget, the Bills made serious moves this offseason to shore up the defensive front. The addition of Joey Bosa, the return of key veterans, and the emergence of younger talent could be the difference between another heartbreak and ultimate glory. We all remember the heartbreak against the Chiefs, the missed tackles, the big plays surrendered late, the feeling that one more stop could have changed everything. This time, the mission is clear. Get pressure, win in the trenches, and give Josh Allen the ball when it matters most. If they can do that, then yeah, Josh Allen absolutely has a real shot at being Super Bowl MVP, and this team can silence the critics once and for all. So here's where we stand, Bills Mafia. The Tyreek Hill rumor, a dream scenario, but when blocked by money, rivals, and reality. The Joey Bosa situation, a high-risk, high-reward move that could define our defense in 2025. This team is pushing. They're trying to get better, and while some headlines might sound like fantasy, the direction is clear. The Bills are loading up for one more serious run at a big game. Now we want to hear from you, the heart and soul of Bills Nation. Stout do. You think the Bills should still pursue a big-name wide receiver, even if it's not Tyreek Hill? How confident are you in the WR group of Shakir, Coleman, Palmer, and Moore? And what's your gut telling you about Joey Bosa, comeback season, or injury risk? Drop your answers in the comments below. We read every single one. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you're always up to speed with the latest Bills news and rumors. We've got more videos coming on roster battles, camp updates, and the road to the regular season. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Bills!